Jeepers Creepers New History.
Chapter 3: The Hunter's Tale. Samantha and Alex sat huddled together with the hunter in the abandoned house. The night was long and restless as they listened to the sounds of the creeper lurking in the darkness outside. As they waited for morning to come, the hunter began to tell them his tale. He had been hunting the creeper for years, ever since the monster had killed his wife and child. He had dedicated his life to tracking and killing the creature. The hunter explained that the creeper only emerged every 23 years, for 23 days at a time, to feed on human beings. It would target those with certain traits that it found desirable, such as fear and a strong will to live. The creeper would take its victims back to its lair, where it would feast on their flesh and absorb their organs, regenerating its own body. The hunter had been tracking the creeper for years, following its trail of carnage and destruction. He knew that the creature was difficult to kill, but he was determined to see it destroyed. As the night wore on, Samantha and Alex listened to the hunter's stories with growing horror. They had no idea that such a creature even existed, let alone that they had been targeted by it. Finally, morning arrived, and the group prepared to leave the abandoned house. The hunter gave Samantha and Alex some weapons, including a crossbow and a hunting knife, telling them that they would need to defend themselves. As they walked down the road, they saw that their car had been completely destroyed. It was clear that the creeper had been there and had taken the vehicle apart with its bare hands. Samantha and Alex were terrified, but the hunter remained focused. He knew that they needed to find the creeper's lair if they were going to have any chance of killing it. They set out into the woods, following the trail of destruction left by the creeper. As they walked, they could feel the creature's eyes on them, watching their every move. Suddenly, they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from the darkness ahead. They knew that someone was being attacked by the creeper, and they ran towards the sound. As they approached, they saw a group of teenagers being attacked by the creeper. The monster had already killed 2 of them and was feasting on their bodies. The hunter fired his gun at the creeper, but the monster was too fast. It dodged the bullets and flew away into the darkness, leaving the teenagers to their fate. Samantha and Alex were horrified, but the hunter remained focused. He knew that they were getting closer to the creeper's lair and that they needed to keep moving forward. As they continued their journey, they came across a small abandoned church. The hunter explained that it was the creeper's lair, and that they needed to go inside if they were going to kill the monster. Samantha and Alex were hesitant, but the hunter urged them forward. They entered the church, weapons at the ready, and began to search for the creeper. Suddenly, they heard a loud noise coming from the basement. They cautiously made their way downstairs, and they could feel the monster's presence growing stronger. As they reached the bottom of the stairs, they saw the creeper, standing in the center of the room. Its eyes glowed in the darkness, and its twisted wings rustled as it moved closer. Samantha and Alex were frozen with fear, but the hunter remained calm. He aimed his gun at the creeper and fired, but the monster was too fast. It dodged the bullets and lunged towards them, its claws extended. Chapter 4: The Lair. The creeper advanced towards Samantha, Alex, and the hunter with frightening speed, its wings creating a gust of wind as it flew towards them. The hunter fired again, but the bullets only grazed the creeper's tough, leathery skin. Samantha and Alex stood rooted to the spot, too terrified to move. The creeper moved closer, its eyes locked onto them with a cold, calculating gaze. Just as the monster was about to strike, the hunter stepped in front of Samantha and Alex and fired one last shot. This time, the bullet hit the creeper in the chest, and it let out a blood-curdling screech before falling to the ground. For a moment, there was silence in the dark, dusty lair. Samantha, Alex, and the hunter stood frozen, staring at the monster's motionless body. But then, they heard a faint rustling sound, and suddenly, the creeper's wings sprang open, propelling it back to its feet. The group gasped in horror as the creeper lunged towards them once again, this time with even more ferocity than before. The hunter aimed his gun and fired repeatedly, but the monster was too quick, dodging each bullet with ease. Samantha and Alex grabbed their weapons and joined in, firing arrows and throwing knives in a desperate attempt to stop the creeper. But the monster was too strong, too fast, too clever. It seemed to anticipate their every move, its cold, calculating eyes locked onto them with a fierce intensity. As they fought for their lives, Samantha noticed something strange. The lair around them seemed to be alive, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. The walls and floor were covered in strange symbols, and the air was thick with a foul, sickly scent. She realized that the creeper had been using this place as its feeding ground, absorbing the life force of its victims to regenerate its own body. The hunter had been right, this was the creeper's lair, and they were in mortal danger. Just as the group was about to be overwhelmed, they heard a loud, thunderous roar coming from deep within the lair. The creeper stopped in its tracks, its attention diverted to the source of the noise. The hunter seized the opportunity and fired one last shot, hitting the creeper in the head. This time, the monster fell to the ground and did not move. Samantha, Alex, and the hunter cautiously approached the creature's lifeless body. They were relieved to see that it was truly dead, its twisted wings no longer fluttering, its cold eyes no longer staring back at them. But then, they heard the same roar again, louder and more menacing this time. The walls of the lair began to shake, and the symbols etched into the stone glowed with an eerie, unearthly light. Suddenly, a massive creature burst through the walls of the lair, its long, sharp claws extended. It was even bigger and more terrifying than the creeper, with glowing red eyes and a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. The group stood frozen in terror as the creature advanced towards them. The hunter realized with horror that this was not the end of their nightmare, it was only the beginning. To be continued in Chapter 5.